Welcome to the Beatles Talk Show. It's January 25th. Let's look at some Beatles cool facts.
Wow.
Already.
Okay.
Did you know on this date in 1963, Cilla Black debuted as a vocalist at the Cavern Club?
Oh.
Hey, you're wearing your Cavern Club shirt today.
I know.
I like that shirt.
You like it?
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cilla Black.
Peel it off me. That's gonna tell you.
Cilla Black, of course, would go on to become a big pop star in England and have many connections with the Beatles.
And also something to do with Yellow Submarine happened on this day as well.
That is right.
Mm-hmm.
January 25th, 1968. The Beatles had said they didn't really want to do anything with the Yellow Submarine movie. It was a cartoon. It had just nothing to do with them. But they finally agreed they would do a little live-action cameo appearance, which would appear at the end of the movie.
And I love that. What do you think of that?
I'm glad they did
it.
You know,
I think it's so cool.
Add a nice little touch at the end of the movie. So definitely glad they did it.
What is it, John? Blue meanies? I don't know.
Yeah.
I've got the hole in my pocket. It's a great little scene at the end.
It was on this date in 1969 that John and Yoko's Unfinished Music #1 Two Virgins album was banned in New Jersey and in Cleveland, Ohio. And the police in New Jersey confiscated 20,000 copies of the album, saying it was, obscene because it had them.
That was the one they're naked on.
Naked on the cover.
Yeah, I had that album. Yeah.
So it is quite a shocking thing, really, for that time.
For that time, especially. Yeah. No kidding.
And talking about getting in trouble, on this date in 1971, George Harrison pleads guilty to driving without reasonable consideration.
What does that mean?
He was driving his Mercedes in London a few months earlier. No, actually about a year earlier. Finally in court, pleading guilty because he drove his car forward and touched the legs of a policeman who had signaled him to stop. And it was due to this that George actually lost his driver's license.
He's a badass. I didn't know that. He was the rebel, I guess.
Speaking of trouble, on that exact same date, January 25th, 1971, Charles Manson and 3 of his family members, all women, were found guilty of conspiracy and 7 counts of murder. And of course, the big connection with Charles Manson and the Beatles is that he said that he had got messages from them through the songs Helter Skelter, Revolution #9, and Piggies.
Yeah.
And of course, the book would even be called Helter Skelter that told his story years later.
See, that's the scary thing about becoming so popular, that you get all these crackpots that use you as an excuse to do all these terrible things.
Yeah.
It's just an awful thing to happen. But what I remember about that whole thing is that he was initially going after one of the Beach Boys. That's what I had read.
Right.
And I won't go into any more about that, but that's pretty scary stuff. Another one of my favorite bands, by the way. Yeah.
And talk about other troubles that the Beatles had also on this date. This is not a good day for them. January 25th, 1980, Paul spent his 10th day in jail in Tokyo. But he was finally released on this date and deported back to England. And, that was quite the thing. It said Paul had said that was the first time he'd been away so long from Linda and his kids, and he didn't ever want to be separated from them like that again.
Yeah, and that's why he probably didn't tour for 10 years after that.
Yeah, that could be.
I mean, one of the reasons, the whole thing with John and everything too. That was the end of Wings. After that Japan incident, that was it. The new lineup with Lawrence Juber and Steve Hawley, great musicians. I loved all of Wings, but I really, really enjoyed that period of Wings. The latter part of Wings a lot. Yeah, great players, great band.
Paul mentioned that in his 10 days in jail, he was never let out of his cell to get any sunlight.
That's true. I remember that.
So he wasn't allowed to go out and get any fresh air for the 10 days. But he said he did get to jam and made some friends with some of the prison mates. He even got to sing Yesterday to a Murderer while he was there.
Well, he probably did it out of fear, right? Do what you can. Back in '73, when him and Linda were accosted in Lagos, they were actually robbed at knife point. They held a knife to Paul and we're going to kill him. And it was because they wanted money. They didn't know who he was. Of course, he was there to record the album Band on the Run. They did not know who these people were. They just thought, just some ordinary tourists. So they had a knife to Paul's throat, and Linda's yelled, "No, no, no, it's Beatle Paul, Beatle Paul." Yeah. Yesterday, Long and Winding Road. And these guys, they didn't speak any English, but they knew who the Beatles were. And they're like, "Oh," they took the knife away. "Paul, oh, it's okay. I'll take your wallet, but you can go." That's the true story, So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's quite a shock, right?
It is. Yeah.
Finally, some good news happened on January 25th, 1991, and I remember this. Okay. The Limehouse Studios in London held Paul McCartney's Unplugged performance for MTV, where he did a full show with 200 special invited guests. Yep. And of course, it was released as a TV special, as a CD,
an album,
and featured again some of his covers of his solo material, plus some Beatles songs. And also included the first official release of I Lost My Little Girl, which was the first song that Paul had ever written, and the Beatles used to play that back in the 50s, in fact. And that actually is one of my favorite songs on the Unplugged album.
You know what mine is? The song Junk, off the McCartney album. He does a few versions of that, and I really enjoyed that. That was a really good performance. I think it's on, you probably see it on YouTube, I'm sure. I think I still own that on DVD somewhere, but it's a great, great performance. And he's young in there too. I think he's only, he's in his 40s, mid-40s if I remember, when he did that.
And finally, on this date, January 25th in 1999, Paul McCartney launched a crusade against British radio and TV stations over banning a song released by his wife, Linda McCartney, a song called The Light Comes From Within. They had banned it because it had offensive language in it.
I didn't know that. That's the first time I've heard about
that. So there's an interesting song everybody's got to go check out.
Have you heard that song before?
I
haven't either. No, but I'd like to hear it. I like Cook of the House, though.
You too. Here we come, right? We know lots of her songs, but that one, of course, was not a hit, so it's obscure. And, of course, being banned, I guess, didn't help at the time.
Oh, I don't know.
So there you go. All right, well, January 25th wasn't really a good day for the Beatles overall, but still some interesting historical facts for them.
It's the Beatles.
Yep.
Whatever.
All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, take care, guys.
So my dear friends, come back when you can.